Of respect is always a bonus when you're banged up with a skaghead. You? 6 months, he says with a scowl settling on his mug. For a fight I didn't even start. Got my fucking head kicked in and all. Shouldn't even be in here. What's your name? Harry, I tell him. With an H. He frowns blankly. Harry with an H. I'm Craig. All I ever did was a bit of light shoplifting, he continues bitterly. Bit of till nicking and that. Nothing worth getting banged up for. Fucking knobhead magistrates. I've stopped listening, my mind's on other things. Will she be here on time? Has she been able to get hold of her dealer? Will she make it past the screws without being searched? Eventually, the gates start clanging and screws stride up and down the landings, opening cells and yelling out names for visits. Twice one of them marches up to my cell with a suspenseful jangle of keys, and I almost lurch off the bed with anticipation, only to hear boots clamp past to open another door instead. It's getting late. My cellmate has taken to assuring me every half a minute or so not to worry, that my girlfriend is sure to turn up until I'm an anxious wreck. Visit for sure, a screw shouts at last. I hurl myself off the bed and wait for my door to be opened. After a great deal of trudging along corridors and joining up with other prisoners while gates bash against walls, then clang shut behind us, we finally get to have something that's taken totally for granted in the outside world. A chance to see someone we actually want to see. She's looking rough, is Dawn. Used to be a gorgeous girl with a curvy arse and fragrant blonde hair. Now she's all pale skin and skinny limbs. No problems then, I grinned, grasping her by the arm and pulling her towards me. For a long moment our tongues collide and I notice she's wincing and her eyes clenched shut as if I'm the last fellow on earth she wants to be snogging. I'm starting to wonder what she's playing at until at last the hard plastic package is pushed into my mouth. I swift it to my cheek and glare at her suspiciously. You been seeing someone? She shakes her head. I squeeze her arm harder and she lets out a yelp. Roughly I pull her sleeve to reveal a row of purplish bruises. That hurts, Harry, she groans, yanking her arm away. I warned you not to inject, I said, sitting down and making her sit too. You promised me you'd leave off the fucking needles. Yeah, I'm going back to smoking it. It was only because it works out cheaper banging it up, she mutters. Don't matter though, I'm going grafting this afternoon with Steve. I miss you, babe, she says, hurriedly changing the subject. Now that I'm not around, she's doing checkbook fraud with her brother to feed her habit. Doesn't bother with hairdressing no more. She looks at me with a brave smile. My anger abates and just as quickly turns to pity. I cut my hand to her cheek. She nestles against it as she always used to. It's the softest thing I've touched in months.